Hey guys, welcome to the new video of MuleSoft Online Learning. In this video, we will be discussing about the object store and what are the different use cases and where should we use the object store. So, as per our rule, which we are following for past couple of videos, so let's first look into the MuleSoft documentation, what it is all about the object store. So I will go to the object store official documentation. So this is like object store is being used for simple key value storage. So this is important to understand, like this is not going to work as a full-fledged database. It is only used for very small values, or like as the example is mentioned, like it can be used for synchronizing information using watermarks, or using the SS tokens, or, or storing some of the user specific information like SS tokens, or the session IDs whenever a user login into a particular site, or basically the temporal information which are bound to change within a specified period of time. Okay. So cache module uses the object store. We have already covered this particular thing like in our cache scope already. Apart from that, auth module, which we will cover in the later stages, that also uses the object store to access and refresh the tokens on a fixed frequency basis. And until successful, which we already covered, it uses object store to store all the messages it has to retry. So if a mule crashes, those messages are not lost and it can continue processing when it recovers. So basically the object store here is being referred as persistent. So coming down, it cannot be used for a full-fledged universal solution to replace the data storage. They cannot replace the data storage, but it is only used for very specific use cases, as we discussed these things, temporal synchronization and those other things. So coming to the default object store, default object store, like which is provided by Mule app itself, so it can be used without any configuration. It Flow can use it to persist and share the data. So if you want to use the default object store, you can specify a key, and uh, without selecting or creating an object store, or you can also go for the custom object store as well. So in the custom object store, you need to specify some of the other values, like uh, if you want to specify a partition, if you want to store it in different object stores, how do you want to use it, like is it a persistent or in memory, that is transient, what is the expected time to live, TTL, and what are the maximum capacity, that is the maximum number of entries or the keys for a specific app. So so if we want to keep the different components from sharing state by feeding them with the different object stores, or we want different component to share information by feeding them using the same object stores. So under these categories, we can use the custom object stores. Below links are for the setting up and defining the object store. So let's quickly check the define an object store. Okay, it is talking about contents and all the other things. One important thing I would like to mention here is these couple of things, like entry time to live unit, then maximum entries, persistent, expiration interval, and interval unit. So let's quickly have a glance, and after that we will deep dive into the Mule application. So consider this particular code snippet. It talks about object store is being named as token store, and it is being marked as persistent. If persistent is being set as true, then values are stored in the disk and can survive a system restart. Setting persistent to false, it will make it as only memory. So as soon as the system get restart, all of your value or key value pair get lost. Second, expiration, it is being set to 30 minutes. So after 30 minutes, it will discard the elements that exceed their time to live or their maximum entries limit. Okay, time to live of 1 hour, 1 hour time to live. So because access tokens are highly sensitive, you might not want to retain them for more than 1 hour, and every entry older than that is automatically deleted. So this is for the refreshing the token. So after every 1 hour it gets expired, and we have to gain a new uh, SS token basically. The last one is the size limit. If the store grows more than 100 entries, more than the 100 first entry will be discarded when the expiration thread runs. So this is all about the object store. Now let's quickly start one of our mule demo application. So I will open the Anypoint Studio. So I want to cover almost all the operations which are available under the object store category. So I have already designed a sample mule application for the same. So what we need to do, in case this object store is not coming up over here, what you need to do, you have to click on add modules. It should be coming up over here. Since in my case it is already being drag and dropped over here, so that's why it is not coming up. But if it is not the case with you, it will be listed somewhere over here, and you have to just drag and drop onto the left hand side of it, and after that it will show something like this. Okay, and as usual, in order to create any mule application, we have to right click and go for new and the mule project, and name that project as object store demo, which I have done in this particular case. So after that you have to do one more thing. You have to right click on it and go for properties, and go to the mule project. So here you can see I am trying to reuse the connection which I already have maintained in the domain project. So I'm using this domain project, and this particular mule application of object store demo is now domainized. So let's have a quickly glance onto the mule domain configuration. I'll go to the global elements. So this is our standard HTTP listener 8081. You can go for a test connection as well, it should work. So this is fine. This is the majority of the time we will be using this, and the rest of the things like object store we will going to create within the application itself. Okay, so let's see what all operations are available. So object store, it gives the store operation, that is stores the given value using the given key. So all of the values is in the form of key value pair. So this is being used to store the value. After that we have this one contains. So it will return whether a key is present or not. So it is a boolean sort of response, true or false. After that, retrieve, if you want to retrieve the value of a specific key, retrieve all. It gives the all key value pairs within the object store, and this retrieve all keys. This is about like retrieving all the keys only. Retrieve all keys in a form of array. We will be discussing this as well. And last one, the store. So apart from that, there are remove and clear. So clear is to delete all the entries available in the store, and remove is for the specific key. So let's quickly start our demo part. So the very first one is for listener, that is a post method we will be using. I will go to advanced. This is a post method. MIME type I have set as application JSON. After that, there is a store which I have just drag and drop from the palette side to the main canvas, and it will open up like this. So we need to specify a key. Along with that, we need to specify the value to it. So I will be passing a field name as key in my query params. Along with that, I will be sending out a payload in JSON format. Along with that, there are two more fields like if fail if present. So if I am trying to update the same key, it will give an error, and if there is a blank value, then also it will throw an error. So I am using the default setting, but for this I have changed the value to true. After that there is object store configuration, so you have to click on plus sign, and it will give you option whether you want to persist it or not. So I have selected the persist option. So let me show you the configuration of it. So I have selected the persist, and entry time leave is 0, that is infinite time it will be waiting. Expiration is for 1 minute. After every 1 minute the keys will get expired. Apart from that, I have set up the configuration reference for the object store. So you have to just click on plus, and then this particular window will come up. So this is basically the connection configuration, which gives us option to retry. I have used the standard. You can use none or forever as well, but standard gives 2 seconds of frequency to reattempt the connections establishment. So it will try 2 times with a difference of 2 seconds between each other. You can give a test connection try. So this is wonderful. Everything is working now. We are good to go. I will again go to the message flow, and our first goal is to check for the object store demo flow. That is the first one which we are going to store the key. I will right click on the project, go for run, save the project. Let me quickly check the operation name, that is OS is the path which I am using. It is loading the project, so now it is up and running. I will clean the console so that we can see the latest entries. I will go to the Postman, and perhaps this one, OS along with the key. So as I mentioned, in the store setting we have set the key as query params.key. So I will be setting key as 1 and maybe ID as 1. I will be printing my favorite action hero, and post method I have selected JSON as the message under the raw body type, and I will go for send button. So within the response it is printing the same payload. I will quickly go to the console. So in the logger I have printed just the payload itself. So it is printing the same thing. Now let's try to update the same second time as well. So it is showing object store already contains a key 1. So it means everything is working fine, and as of now our object store is already having a key 1. So let's put one more entry. I will change the key to 2, ID as 2, maybe date as 14th. Instead of Iron Man, Spider-Man, what do you say? Click on send. So a second key is generated with ID as 2 and name and all the other details. I will clean this up. Have you noticed, like, if it is already there, it shows key already exists. So let me clean it up, and we'll go for the second use case, contains. Okay, so this particular flow, it will retrieve the details. OS retrieves the object store retrieve. After that it will check for any specific key which we are going to send within the URL itself, and after that it will log, and basically which it will show whether available key is there or not. It will basically a boolean value. After that there is a choice. Within the choice we have marked 2 paths. It will if it is present, then it will retrieve the specific key. You can configure the object store the default which we have set up in the first use case, and default value you can print anything like the villain Loki. Sorry guys if you like Loki as a action hero, but for me he is a villain. Okay. Going back to here, and I am going to transform the message again to the application JSON. Similarly, for the default path, I am going to retrieve all. So I'm using the same object which is going to retrieve the key value pairs, and after that there is a transform message, and we are converting it, and that's the logging it. So let's quickly go to the OS retrieve, and we will use the specific key. So I will go over here, and the specific key I will be putting as 1. I will hit send button. So the 1 was the iron one which we have already set. Let's quickly have a glance on the console. So it shows available key available or not. So it's true, meaning it was available. Now let's try to hit something which is not we have set, that is key S3. So we have set only key 1 and key 2. So this is key 3 will go to the default path of it, that is from to the this particular path. Let me hit the send button. So here you can see 1 and 2 both are now coming up. Iron Man, Spider-Man 1 and 2 IDs, and that's pretty much of it. And you can see the same thing coming up under the console logs as well. Let's go to the third use case, that is the retrieve all. So retrieve all keys, basically we have set key 1, key 2. So and using this object store we are going to print as a part of payload. So let's quickly check the listener path, that is retrieve all. So I will go over here and hit this particular thing. So ideally it will give us a array of 1 and 2 keys. So this is pretty much of it. Let's go to the next use case. So this is about cleaning up the object store. So when we say cleaning up, we will be deleting some of the entries from our object store. So the action we have set is delete OS, that is delete object store. After that we'll be logging it. It says handle with care. It will delete either one or all the keys available. So remove will be removing a specific key which we are going to send as a part of query params, and object store is the same which we have used for this entire use case. In the condition we have set if the operation equal to remove, and if not it will be clearing up, it will delete all the possible entries from the object store. So let's quickly go to the postman. I don't want to delete all, I want to show you something, so that's why I will put key equals to 1 and operation equals to remove. So let's see how it responds. So this is 200. Okay, I will go to the console. So handle with care, and after that deleted OS entry for key 1. So let's quickly check whether it is really deleted or. So I will go to retrieve all. Ideally it should now show only the second key. So yes, the first key is deleted, so it means it is working fine. So now this time what I will do, I will remove the key and operation. So as per our logic, it will delete the second entry as well, the second key. So now entire OS is cleaned up, because in logger we have set it up, entire OS is cleaned up. The same is printing in the console as well. So I will go and check using the retrieve all option. So ideally it will be a blank array this time. So yes, it is blank. So with this I have demonstrated all the possible operations which are there in this object store. Predominantly this can also be used along with idempotent message validator. So idempotent message validator, how you will find it and what is the use case around it, I will go to the official MuleSoft documentation. So it ensures only unique messages continue through a flow execution by checking the unique ID of the incoming message. So you can use any manipulation inside the id expression of it. Okay, and here they are basically changing the payload using MD5 hash and putting into the crypto imported text plain format. So it's up to us whether we want what level of complexity. But for the second example, what they have done, they are simply using the attribute dot parent dot id. That is, they are sending some of the some field in the query parameters id, and they are checking if the same id is getting pushed into the flow. Then it will throw an duplicate message or something, some errors similar to that. So what exactly error it will be? Duplicated message will be the error which it will be throwing. We will see, like, there are some fields like id expression, value expression, object store, and store prefix. So id expression will be the expression used to generate an id. You can use dw or to calculate the id, or you can extract the id from the existing value, that is from query param they have shown. Value expression, so no need to play around this because setting a value has no impact. So there is no point in putting anything, but by default it uses the correlation id. After that, the object store, so it can refer either a global object store, or it can also use a private object store where the component stores the process message ids, that is the id expression value itself. And if it is not persistent, then the time to live is of 5 minutes and expiration interval of 6 seconds. Apart from that, store prefix is also being used. So store prefix is basically just, it will put the name of a store in this particular format, config file name, the flow name, and the ending with idempotent message validator. So these three are non-mandatory, optional. So we will be seeing like how to play around with the first field. So you have to go to the core, and here you will find idempotent message validator. Ensure that only unique messages are received by a service by checking the unique id of the incoming message. Note that the id used can be generated from the message using expression defined in the id expression, otherwise duplicate message error is generated. So what I have done in the listener, the same domain http listener configuration I have used, and the path is filter check. Apart from that, I have logged that message, that is a payload, because this will be a post method. You can check in advance, you have to mention post. Along with that, the MIME type I have used is application JSON. And after that, I have drag and drop the idempotent message validator to the canvas. And after that, the id expression which I have used is query params key. So it means I will be sending key as one of the value in it. And the object store, I have selected the global reference, and the object store is the same which is being used in this entire project. And finally I will be logging as successfully accepted. So this is the thing which we are going to check. I will quickly check the path as well, filter check. Okay, I will clear up the console and go to the postman. So this is the filter check, and key sample I'm putting as sample itself. So it will be id3, and I will be putting it as Captain Marvel. I will hit it send. I will go back here, it is showing successfully accepted. So nothing bad in it because it was a unique entry. Let's do it second time. I will keep the same key, but I will change the id values. So let's make some change. I will hit send button. So it is showing unknown description. It means it is erroring out 500 error, server error. I will quickly go over here, and you can see the error type is mule duplicate message. So because we have set the id expression on the basis of key, so that's why we are using the same key, and because of that it is erroring out. So what if I put sample 1 and using the same, it will accept it, successfully accepted. I will go and will try to see what all we have in the retrieve all. So you can see sample and sample 1. Again I can check as sample. So let me go. One second guys, I need to check exactly what is the flow which I can use. OS retrieve, and I will mention the specific key as sample 1. I will clean up this project. So available key or not. Now after that it goes to the retrieve and set it up the transform message, and it prints up the payload. So why this specific value? Because this is the object store value which is being set by a different flow. We can locate the actual value inside it from our location as well. So that location I have mentioned in one of my previous video as well. Have a look on that. Basically check somewhere in let me go to the location, users, application, show package contents, maybe Mac, not Mac. I will go inside the resources, no, under the Eclipse, the plugins, server, mule, so up to this particular level I need to check. I will copy paste this guy quickly, close it, open the terminal window, cd control V, and the second here cd.mule. I will do ls-ltr. I will go to the second last one, that is the object store demo. I will do ls-ltr once again. I will go inside the object store and do ls-ltr. I will try to locate it now. So it could be present in one of these folders, so I need to check this cdf 166. So here you can see the second one, 93E4 491D0. Something is there. And try checking once again. So it should be this one, I guess. This one, this entry, D78, D78. Yes. So but as I mentioned earlier in my previous video, like this could be some in some format which is not easy to comprehend, so I will stay back up to this level. So I know this is pretty much long video, but I have tried to cover all the possible operations available within the object store. I hope you like this video, and it will help you to further explore the different capabilities of object store, and also a bit on idempotent message validator as well. So thanks for watching, and stay tuned for the next set of upcoming videos. Thank you.